Georgia. I'm Abby. I'll be your OT today. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Who did you bring in with you?
This is my lovely daughter, Jessica.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. Can you tell me about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm 78. I recently lived in Oregon with my husband, but he passed about a year ago. So I moved down to Florida to be a little closer to my daughter and my son and my grandchildren. I really enjoy gardening, being involved in the church.
My brother and I decided when our dad passed about a year ago that we kind of didn't want her out there by herself, especially being so far away from Oregon to Florida. So we decided to move her out, have her closer to us. We found a great home for her in a 65 older community, so it's nice. She doesn't have to care for anything in the home, but we really love that we were able to move her closer to us.
Awesome. Tell me what your day usually looks like.
Typically wake up, I have a cat named Peaches, so I take care of her and make sure she has all the things she needs. I enjoy cooking, so I usually will make like a breakfast for myself, go outside, water my plants, take care of all those things. As much as I can, I go over to their house to be with the grandkids. I really enjoy spending time with them and getting involved with the church too. Usually Wednesdays and Saturdays is extra outside of church. I don't know what else in my day I normally do. Drink coffee. I love coffee.
We're very much family centered. Yeah, she comes over to my house or my brother's house a lot, but then we also go to her house a lot for dinners. She loves to cook, so we go over there a lot for weekly dinners. And then she gets to see the grandkids. They get to run around the house, things like that.
That's awesome. So I'm just going to talk about the referral I got from your doctor. I talked to him a little bit, and he said you had a recent fall. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I was actually cooking, and when I was bending over to grab a pan, I ended up just falling over and injuring myself a little bit, and kind of now makes me a little bit nervous about falls, so I want to kind of make sure I'm not, especially with the grandkids. I'm feeling myself feel a little more unbalanced, so making sure I'm safe and they're safe is important to me.
Have you noticed anything?
Yeah, my brother and I have noticed a little bit of like confusion and some disorientation too, which might have led to the balance difficulties. I'm not really sure, but we've noticed it over the past couple of months. She used to kind of run errands by herself, and we kind of didn't really have a problem with it, didn't see any safety concerns with it, but recently I especially have been going with her a lot to run her errands, just so I know that she's safe and she doesn't fall in the middle of the grocery store, things like that. I kind of accompany her with those, but we've noticed a little bit of kind of confusion and some disorientation going on.
Okay. So I'm just going to have you do a few more things for me after this. Do you have any questions before we start?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Great. Okay, so what are some of your goals for therapy?
I'd like to be able to maintain my safety in the kitchen so that I can continue cooking for myself and like for holidays, and I also obviously like baking with my daughter and grandchildren, so making sure I'm being safe and can do that independently.
And do you have any other goals?
Yeah, I think kitchen safety is a big one, especially because she did have a fall in the kitchen, so trying to prevent that, especially because she lives alone and we can't always be here all the time. But maybe also some things to kind of help with the disorientation and the confusion that we're seeing to prevent those falls, so that she's able to cook for holiday meals and cook when we're not around, and she can do that safely.
Okay, we're going to start some assessments. I'm going to start with one that's called the short blast test and ask you some questions to check your memory and concentration. Some of them may be easy and some of them may be hard. Do you have any questions before we start? All right. What year is it now?
2024.
What month is it now?
November, just barely.
Okay. Please repeat this name and address after me. John Brown, 42 Market Street, Chicago.
John Brown, 42. John Brown, 42.
Am I able to help her at all
We
throughout
want
this?
her to demonstrate your abilities so
Okay.
she can do it
Okay.
independently.
Are you allowed to repeat it again?
John Brown, 42 Market Street, Chicago.
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 Good, now remember that name and address for a few minutes.
Okay.
Without looking at your watch or clock, tell me what time it is.
6:40.
Okay, count aloud backwards from 20 to 1.
Okay. 20, 19, 18, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Say the months of the year in reverse order. Start with the last month of the year. The last month of the year is
December. November, October, September, August, July, June, April, March, February, January.
Okay. Repeat the name and address I asked you to remember.
John Market, 42, Chicago.
That is all for this assessment, and we'll do one more after this, or two.
A short orientation memory concentration test or short BLESS test is a short 6-item assessment used to identify cognitive impairment in individuals in any setting. It evaluates an individual's orientation, registration, and attention in 10 minutes. In comparison to other cognitive assessments, the short BLESS was more relevant in many populations and settings, allowing for the briefer measure to correctly identify cognitive impairments. The sensitivity and specificity of this assessment has been reported to be 88% and 94% when tested with individuals with Alzheimer's disease. Bortnick states that the short BLESS test advantages include the fact that it was relatively quick outcome measures, and its disadvantages include a variation in score when compared to groups who had 8 years of education or less versus other groups compared.
We do another assessment called the Berg Balance Scale. I'm just gonna have you do a few things to assess your balance. Do you have any questions before we start?
No.
All right. Please stand up. Try not to use your hand for support. Okay, then please stand for 2 minutes without holding on.
It's kind of hard.
I'm gonna have you please sit down. And please sit arms folded for 2 minutes.
Like this?
And then you're gonna have you sit up a little bit with your back unsupported. Yeah. Okay, now we're gonna have you transfer from this chair to the couch.
Okay.
And then I'll have you move back. Now I'll have you stand up again, and you're gonna close your eyes for 10 seconds. Okay.
Okay. Whoa. Whoa.
Okay. We're gonna have you just feet together and hold without standing, without holding. Just have you stand.
Okay.
Now we're gonna just transition over to the kitchen and finish the assessment there.
Okay.
Okay, just gonna finish a few more things here in the kitchen. I'll have you lift your arm to 90 degrees, just like that, and stretch your fingers and reach forward as far as you can. Okay, good job. Now I'm gonna have you move over here to where this shoe is. Pick up the shoe, which is placed in front of your feet.
Okay. I feel like I may fall.
That's okay. We're just gonna move on to the next one then.
Okay.
I'm gonna have you just stand right here with your back to the wall. Have you turn to look directly behind you over both shoulders.
Okay.
We're gonna start and look directly behind over your left shoulder and look at the art. Yep. And then repeat to the right. Good job. Now I'm gonna have you turn in a full circle.
Okay.
Turn completely around. Yep, in a full circle. Pause and then turn full circle in the other direction.
Okay. And I'll go again?
Yep.
The other way?
Just yep.
Okay.
Now we're gonna go over to the stool.
Okay.
We're gonna place each foot alternating on the stool. Continue until each foot has touched it 4 times.
Okay.
Yeah, now we're gonna have place one foot directly in front of the other like this.
Okay.
And if you feel you cannot place your foot directly in front of you, try to step further ahead.
Further? Am I good?
Yeah.
Okay.
The last one, I'm gonna have you stand on one leg as long as you can without holding on. That is the last one here. So then we're gonna move on to our last little assessment. That's just in the kitchen. I'll be observing you doing a task there.
All right.
The Berg Balance Scale assesses an individual's balance and fall risk through 14 different activities. It is an easy to administer and brief 30-minute assessment which allows it to be used in many different settings. This assessment has been found to have excellent inter and intra-rater reliability along with excellent internal consistency, which indicates that the assessment allows for consistent and accurate data to be collected. The high cutoff values are required to optimize sensitivity that suggest balance impairment alone may not define someone's increased fall risk. Bortnick states advantages of this assessment include easy to administer, safe, simple, and reasonably brief with good amounts of research to support its use in clinical practice. Its greatest disadvantage includes increasing fall risk as you are putting individuals into situations that they may increase their chances. Overall, this assessment was chosen for this client to help identify any balance deficits while sitting and standing and the level of independence needed for safe ambulation throughout the home.
Okay, I'm gonna have you do one final thing. I'm just gonna watch you navigate your kitchen. I know you like to cook. I'm just gonna have you pop some popcorn and I'm just
Okay.
going to watch. So, any questions before you start?
Nope. I ate my popcorn. No. Oh. How did your day go?
That's good.
I made muffins earlier.
Did you? What kind?
Pumpkin with chocolate chips.
Do you like the bake?
Sometimes. I like the box recipes though.
Easy.
Yeah.
Do you bake for your grandkids?
Yeah, they really like cookies. I actually had my daughter and I made cookies. Chocolate chip.
Ooh, they look delicious.
Yeah. Something a good activity to do together too. Only 10 seconds. I'm excited. Popcorn's my favorite snack.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good snack.
Be careful though. Sometimes this air is really hot. See? Just burn myself. This team. There we go.
Good job. So now we're just going to finish off with a quick discussion maybe with your daughter about just future goals and what sessions will look like.
Okay.
So great job with the assessments. I know both your goals include wanting to safely and independently navigate the kitchen so you can continue to cook and bake with your grandkids. So throughout the home sessions, we are going to meet once a week for an hour to just work on kitchen safety and environmental modifications to help with assisting with that disorientation and confusion and the unbalance issues that we've been experiencing. Are there any other concerns that you guys have?
My brother wasn't able to make it, but if he has any questions or if we have any like goal changes along the way, is that something that we're able to do, or is this something we're going to be involved in through treatment?
Yeah, for sure. I will make sure that everyone who's involved will be aware of the changes before anything is made.
Okay.
So yeah, you guys will be in the loop for sure. So I think that is all, but we'll be starting next week, and I look forward to working with you guys.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.